So this is Fiona's house. This is where she left at 4 p.m. and headed towards the shops. So this is the path she would have taken, and at the end of the road is the reserve type park area where she probably took the shortcut. To the left over there, we'll see in a minute, is her local church she was a member of. Fiona was an altar girl in the church. So she would have got to here. There was no path there back then. Now if you look up there, that is the hotel, the Midway Hotel. So if anyone came out of there and they could walk down this road, they could also cut this path. Like I say, the path from there leads to a little bridge, which would have been helpful in them days. The most likely way to go. Just crossing through here. It was on a fairly cool day. Just got home from school at 1 p.m. and 4 o'clock left the house to go to the shops, which was up this way. Now, back in '85 there probably wasn't as much traffic as there is now. So that's Yorktown Road, which is very busy at the moment. But if you're a teenager, no, this is an easy trip. It's only about 1k to the shops. And see, walking through here, now this could be a bit of a scary place at times. So anyone could be lurking in here, and although at 4 o'clock the light wasn't too bad, this tank setup, that was not there. There was a few little trees, but this is the more densely part of the area here. You can see, like, if somebody comes walking through that way, somebody could easily just wait and hide. Now, had she continued on here, that is one area where you could be attacked. Now this is the drain, and somehow she was dragged into that drain. Now we don't know for sure if she was murdered in the drain or if she was murdered outside the drain and then taken down into there. So we might just have a look down there if I don't fall over. So this is the drain the police were standing on, looking this way. And there was 2 police officers down here, one squatted down. Whoa, there you go. And that's the drain. Now you can see one end has got a lot more water than the other. So supposedly there's talk that it was the other end, but this one looks much more likely because this is where the police were, and it's so out of sight. Like, no one's going to see anyone down here. But whether something happened over there and she was dragged here, that's not sure. There's very little evidence of anything about the court case or that's released. So had she been okay and didn't get attacked there, then she would have went this way. Now, we're walking straight over the tunnel now. You can see there's a lot more water on that side. But she would have went to the shops up that road, around the bend there, supposedly to buy some sweets or lollies. She was going out to some sort of show. Somebody says a ballet, but there was nothing in Adelaide with ballet unless it was a private school function or something small. But she would have kept on going. If she got there, we don't know. But this way is the way she would have had to come back. So this is the way heading back to her house, and she could have gone left over that drain if there was no water in there and into those trees area as a shortcut. It's very easy access from those trees down that drain, and that drain is the western side, which some people say that's where she was found, partially in that drain. Now there's a water pattern down there, and it's deep at this end and shallower up the other end, and I have photos of that in 2026, and it still has the same pattern of water and the same depth. This is very strange. So it's pretty easy to get in and out of that concave. So had she gone that way, that's another possibility. That's looking back to the shops. Go right to the end of that road and go left, that's where the shops are. So she could have also bypassed that section and just gone down this way, which is not in a direct line to her house. The house is more to the right, but that's another place where some deviant could hide and attack from. So that's Crocker Road there, and that's Yorktown Road in the background. Now we're heading home towards her house, and that's the side where the policeman was standing and looking over at two detectives down below. So that site got a lot of attention, and that once you're down there, you know, you're pretty well hidden. So that's the drain that runs both sides of the road. Now this heads back up towards her house. There's probably more water in there at this moment than there was back in '85. They had some rain, I think 2 previous days before that a bit. Hard to believe somebody would be abducted and strangled in broad daylight just like it is here today. As I say, on the left there was nothing there before. That was just open paddock with a few trees, not as big as these back then. And even today there's very little traffic, and I think I passed one person walking. So it's pretty secluded really in a big open area where houses both sides, cars, traffic, just not a lot of foot traffic. You can see that little walkway bridge in the distance. That's fairly recent. I don't think that was there back then. You could hide in these trees, and no one can see you till you're right in there. And as if the light faded, so I think it was between 4 and 6 o'clock, so it was probably still daylight. But from a distance, those trees look fairly dark. So here we have Fiona's house, the shopping centre, the park shopping centre she was going to go to, and her memorial stone over her gravesite. And now her mum Yvonne is supposedly in that same gravesite, so they're reunited once again. Rest in peace, Yvonne and Fiona.